to Only Good News. Are we streaming yet? Because I want to send it out to everybody. Welcome back to Only Good News. It's been a whole year, a whole year. I had hit like episode 92 last year, and um, yeah, I was trying to get to 100, and it just didn't happen. So I tried and I tried and I tried, and this week I just said, you know what, just dive back in. I'm a bit nervous. I could tell you that it's been a while since I've been in front of this microphone, bringing good cheer to all of you. Um, but I think I have an amazing show packed in for you guys tonight, and let's start by just having a little conversation about what happened over the past year because lots of things happened. Why did I not do Only Good News for a while? I could tell you for a fact that I started teaching. So before, it was a lot easier to do the Only Good News because I was home all day. And so when I started going to the classroom and having to prep for school and then dealing with kids, and I was teaching pure math. Now, pure math is not easy. It is beyond just finding X and Y and adding and subtracting. And so having to prepare for that took a lot out of me. And it was a shift in my rhythm that was hard for me to get accustomed to. And so I tried and it just didn't happen. And so over the past year, now one of the best things about teaching is you get your vacations, and so now I'm on vacation. So that means that I have a little bit of energy to bring to you guys at least for the rest of the summer, and we'll see what happens afterwards. And so that's essentially what I was doing, and I'm here. I'm back. So some people have asked me, like, are you not doing the show again? What's going on with the show? So those who were prodding and encouraging, I say thank you, because that means that there was a void left, and so I am going to try to fill it back. So what else? What happened last year? My daughter grew. She's having a bit of a growth spurt, and she's also improved in her realm of creativity. Our little startup, which is Stuffy, that has also matured. We made history last month by virtue of releasing the first animation in the Federation that was inspired by a child's art. And those of you who know me know that that has been on the airwaves and also on YouTube. And so, yeah, that's been going good. We've had 830 something views so far, which is commendable. She's excited about that. She checks the views every day. We also pitched to Flow Innovation to see if we can get some money to advance the business. That didn't really go successful, but the journey is what has been great for us. We are soon to launch our greeting cards line, and that's going to hopefully change the game. I can't really talk too much about that yet until they arrive next week. I also grew personally, and got to spend time with my family in Cayman Islands, and that was really really good. At the end of to start this year, it was I spent New Year's Eve flying and landed on New Year's Day, and that was great. So yeah, it's been great. I met my niece who has also grown tremendously and spent time with my brother, which was really great. So that's catching you guys up for the year, and let's talk about the good news. Typically the structure of the show is I come in and I tell you guys what's happening in the world, because we have so much stuff that's just cramming our brains with things that make us kind of worry. So this is just 1 hour to take your minds off of that. Y'all ready? All right, top story of the day. What should we go to? I saw, and this is really good, our Prime Minister, Dr. The Honorable Terence Drew, taking pictures with street vendors and patronizing their businesses. And I was very warm. It made my heart really warm to see that happening because, as you know, we've been kind of running these street vendors off the streets. And just to see that happening and him trying to kind of put his stamp of endorsement on these people trying to make a little dollar was heartwarming to see. And I do hope that it means that we can slowly and somehow find a way to coexist with the pedestrians and the street vendors, because there's something called the impulsive buy. When you go to the grocery store, the chocolates, the chewing gum, the candies are always at the area where you're just standing around waiting for your cashier to check you out. And then you end up spending money that you did not really intend to spend, and it always adds up. Now, when they took the street vendors off the street, it took away that impulsive buy, because you're driving around the street and your eye catches some lovely looking mangoes, like, hey, leave two for me, a pack for me, and then you come back and you buy them. And that has gone away, and I'm pretty sure that has put a huge dent in the pockets of those vendors who were really providing a service. Not only the fruit people, the vegetables, but also the people who are doing street food. I love street food. Anywhere I go, I want to experience street food. And believe it or not, tourists do come to our shores and ask for that, right? So that was good. That was really good for me. And the other thing that caught my eye this week was, what was it last week? A particular individual on social media who will not be named was seen going back and forth with the premier of Nevis over mangoes. Mangoes. And this individual had a bit of a tirade about why there's so many mango trees, grafted mango trees with ripe mangoes, and people not picking them. Like people who have that's like, and it really hurt this individual to see that. So he took to social media to air his grievances and tagged the premier and basically said, where is this man when you need him the most to fight for our fair share of these lovely fruits? And my guy actually responded and he said, oh, what name grafted mango? Apparently he does not like grafted. He doesn't believe the grafted mango is a mango. And there was a lot of banter back and forth, and it was really great to see. And he's asking a question: Sinkis has mangoes? Imagine the premier asking about Sinkis having mangoes and stuff, right? And it was really great. And so we had somebody bring in a motion of no confidence, saying we need to file one, and that's when we enacted the what was this called? The GMPA, the Grafted Mango Party Alliance. And we are yet to file this motion of no confidence, but we shall see where that leads us in the near future. All right? That unnamed individual is yours truly, by the way. Only someone this silly could do that. All right, next bit of good news. This was really good, man. We need this, eh? A Paris district declared the Republic of Good Neighbors, working to revive conviviality and cut loneliness. Now, in the south of Paris city center, the 14th whatever is conducting a neighborhood-wide experiment on deliberate living by consciously choosing to be good neighbors. It is an effort aimed at combating the paradox of the big city, meaning millions and millions of people crammed together, many of whom suffer from social isolation as their millions and millions of neighbors take on endless shades of anonymity. See, like how we say here, we know everybody in St. Kitts. Yeah, but I still think that we can be nicer and kinder to the people that we typically don't even know. So this is true in many cities in the world, but unique to Paris is there's just so much hustle and bustle and lots of tourists. So what they're doing is basically saying that many residents say that the deliberate shift to good Lynette has changed their lives. This includes not only the Frenchmen but immigrants to the area who feel that they're living the Paris that they always imagined. So this is intentional living at its best. All right, next bit of good news that I like to see. It's really cool. A young boy stops at a random house to leave a pep talk on a stranger's doorbell cam. Now, a young boy was headed down a neighborhood sidewalk when he made a stop at a random house with a doorbell camera to leave a positive message of encouragement for a stranger. Isn't that cool? The video posted on YouTube by Southwest News Agency does not identify the boy or the location, but here you see him walking with some friends in a neighborhood, and he looks directly into the camera and basically says, "You matter, all right? There is always going to be someone who cares about you. You are a good person, no matter what people say about you. You matter. I am just trying to say something nice. You matter, man or girl. Whoever you are, you matter to someone. Just keep that in mind. Don't forget that." And he went about his day, sauntering on the sidewalk with a small shopping bag, presumably headed home. Yeah. Yeah, that is, can we do that here in St. Kitts? No, we don't. We don't have lots of doorbell cameras in these parts. All right, next bit of good news was 70 million people cheer on, similarly, a young Texan boy who rang a doorbell asking for help finding friends. All right, so get ready to fall in love with the serenity of this 11-year-old who went to a neighbor's house asking if they knew any kids in the area because he really needed some new friends. The heartbreaking, then heartwarming interaction between this guy and his neighborhood was caught again on a doorbell security camera and triggered a viral storm of offers for friendship on social media. And he says, I just wanted to see if you knew any kids around like 11 or 12. The boy can be heard saying in the video, "I need some friends. I really need them badly." And Ray suggests some kids, the neighbor suggests some kids in the area, but he says he doesn't see them anymore because they're bullies. And basically he says if he asked if he wanted to play with his daughter, but was only 2 years old, and the young man replied, "Yes, oh great, I love 2-year-old kids." But to be honest, they're the most cutest things I've ever known. And the neighbor was struck by this little boy's honesty and demeanor, and so he took to TikTok to try and resolve his conundrum. And you never know what people are going through until you get a chance to talk to them. This young man is well-mannered, kind, and brave. So TikTok can we help Shaden make some friends? He captured in the video, which garnered staggering 69 million views. 69 million views. And yeah, he ended up getting friends. So he was bold enough to ask for friends, and he got the friends, and that made my heart warm. So that's that. And the last bit of news is pretty cool. Tomorrow, the creative economy is basically officially launching. And there's a poster with a trumpeter in front. Yeah, yours truly. But it says, "Unlocking your full potential, feeling the creative power." And there's going to be a creative expo at 11 a.m. The official opening ceremony at 6 p.m. And there's a concert at 8 p.m. It's going to be performances. It's going to be people selling stuff, doing stuff, basically launching the creativity in our nation. And lastly, the last thing I'm going to talk about before we leave, well, my guest just came in here, so this place is just lit up. And I'm going to say this last thing before we go on a little break, is our quote of the day, which I'm going to try to be more consistent with moving forward, is to say, the best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else. And that was said by the Mark Twain. Not the boat, not the boat. I- Not the boat. So the best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. And I believe in this. It is something that I do often. And I want you guys to know that this is a life hack that always works. And when you feel low, lift up somebody else. And on that note, a lot of pure niceness has just come into this studio. It is smelling just, it is just, yeah, it just makes me want to say we're going on commercial break so that we are going to relish on this niceness that is before me. So take a little break and we'll be right back. Wow.
That the cable has a real live customer service representative available every day until 9 p.m.? Just call 465-2588. Calling out of normal office hours? Leave a voicemail and a friendly, reliable cable rep will call you back. Do you have an urgent request? Or maybe you just want to ask a service question? Call 465-2588 and a service representative will be available to assist you. Or, if you prefer, send an email to customerservice@thecable.biz and someone will get back to you. So remember, the cable is here for you every day until 9 p.m. Just call 465-2588 or send an email. The Cable, always giving you more where it matters.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
So we are here. Before we went on break, had a bit of a moment, a bit of a hysterical moment where I was just happy to see that my guest was right here. And as you've seen on the poster, we're having the pure niceness Winnell. I always butcher your last name, so I'm just gonna stick with Winnell. We're gonna be on a first name basis for the rest of this conversation. So, how are you? You look rejuvenated, and after having such a long day, I don't know how you do it, but talk to me. How you doing?
I'm surprised you said that because I am tired.
Well, let me tell you something, right? When you're filled with, you've seen the analogy of when you have dirty water in a cup, and you keep pouring into that cup clean water, those dregs that are in there, guess what happens to them? They come out. And so you end up with something that's full. And so while you might be tired, this is a different energy zone that you're tapping into. And so you won't feel tired for the next hour. And that's what's happening right now.
I love it.
Okay?
I love it. So on the other hand, besides that feeling, I'm good, I'm nice, I'm happy to be here. You know, this was supposed to happen a while now.
Trust me.
Yeah, but I'm thankful that you respected and honored how I felt. And so now I'm here and I'm happy
Girl,
to be here.
trust me, there is a right time for everything. And at the time you weren't ready. And for the last year, I wasn't ready either. And when I when it hit me to jumpstart this show this week, you were the only person who came to mind. I said, she's doing some amazing things right now, and I don't think she's gonna say no this time.
You're right.
So thank you. I've been nervous all week because this has been such a long time. I'm kind of rusty, but thank you for showing up. And we're gonna have a conversation today. I think the show is normally we bring out stories. We're storytellers here, and I know you don't like to be put in a box. I'll put you in multiple boxes. I know you're multidimensional. We have Winnie the model, Winnie the entrepreneur, Winnie the family woman, and Winnie the good energy giver. And it's not a box; it's a sphere. Okay,
I like
put
it.
all of those in, and so we're gonna just talk, right? So let's start from the beginning. You were born not in St. Kitts, contrary to what people may think. You were born all the way in Antigua, right? Correct?
That's correct.
Does that make you an Antiguan or a Kittitian? Because there's Byron Messiah they're claiming which one, St. Kitts or Jamaica. So which one are you?
I am both.
You're both.
I am both. I mean, Antigua is where I was born, so there's a connection. And then, of course, I spent the majority of my life in St. Kitts, so I can't disconnect one for the other. So for me, it's both me. I'm an Antiguan and I am Kittitian.
Yeah. So the model side, right? What was that aha moment when you knew that this is something that I need to do, and how young were you?
Well, I first started out in dance. I was in the children's dance theater with Julie Martin. I went to convent, which it was called then. And dancing was it for me. Dancing and sports. And, that was such a long time ago. But if I try to think back, I do remember loving to see Naomi Campbell in that time. She was a stunner. And that's what kind of captured me. I didn't want to be like her, but I wanted to model. It wasn't a role model per se, but I loved how she just handled the modeling industry, at that time. Just looking at her, it was inspiring. And so I felt like, hey, I could do that. And then.
So were you the runway type model or the photo magazine?
Both.
You were both.
I did both. Mm-hmm.
Did you get to do lots of traveling and all that stuff and meet a lot of these other supermodels?
No. So I didn't get to meet any supermodels, but my career was pretty amazing, in its own journey. So I modeled quite a number of places in the Caribbean. I did a lot of pageantry too. So I would have participated in 21 pageants total. Yes, and so many fashion shows, so many modeling shoots. I would have worked with Calvin S., Sonia Noel, so many fashion designers in the Caribbean. And then I spent a little time in California, where I continued in pursuit of modeling while I was a mother. So that kind of shifted for me a bit, because now I'm a mother. But that's as far as outside of St. Kitts in the Caribbean. I did some modeling in California, in Los Angeles, in San Diego, where I lived. It was nice, it was different. I wasn't your typical runway model because I am short,
You're short?
I am. I'm 5'4".
You 5'4"?
I have long legs.
No, you walk tall.
I like
Nah,
it.
serious. You walk tall. I would have never known you're 5'4".
People don't believe that. They're like, oh, you're tall.
Five. But serious, 5'4".
Yeah, 5'4".
I'm 5'8", and I always wished I was at least 6 feet, because when I was growing up, when I was 14, I was 5'7".
Okay. And
You
felt
hear
short?
this? I was 5'7" at 14.
14?
Actually 13, 4, 5'7", and then my daddy was like, "You're gonna be tall." Like, yes, and then all my
That was
friends
it.
just left me behind. But yeah, you walk tall, man.
Thank you. Yeah. So I was able to, for me with the modeling industry, the power for me was in the personality and the passion. So I may not always have been the perfect model, but once they met me, it kind of shifted things, and I was able to get opportunities not just based on my look or my height, but because I had such a great personality. I was, the energy was good, and so people were like, let's give her an opportunity. Plus, I wasn't bad either. I'm not bad looking. I'm pretty good modeling, so
You
I
can
had some
toot your own
skill.
horn. It's okay. You have enough humility to say I was a bad AS. All right. Right.
Hey.
So here question. Did you have locks back then, and was it
Yes.
like was that ever an issue at all?
In the modeling
Yes.
industry. So I didn't start growing my dreadlocks till I was an adult, a woman. And in San Diego, it was different. Even being a black model, like when I would go to agencies, I would be the only black model in the agency, and a lot of fashion shows too. And then, of course, having dreadlocks, it's like, whoa, but mine was short at the time because I had just started growing it. But I did have people who were pretty amazed with my hair, and I did get some work because my hair was so different. I then got into hair shows because of my hair. So it was embraced, it was different, and they liked that.
So you, in a way, you were a trendsetter then,
Okay.
a trailblazer, because sometimes to be able to stand out, you have to be outstanding, and in what you were doing with embracing your natural beauty, I like it very much. So I found a fact. I found a fact about you that was, I didn't know this, but this is good social capital.
Okay, I
You
listened.
understand that my accent has changed.
Yes. Give it.
Because you went Niger. She went to Nigeria. She went to Nigeria to go
Yes.
and do ECOWAS peace pageantry and everything.
Yes.
I didn't know this. I did not know this. You know that's where I grew up, right?
Yes, I remember
I
being
grew-
told. Wow.
Yeah. I grew up, I spent the first 17 years of my life in Ibadan. So where did you go in Nigeria?
I was in Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt. Oh, nice. I've been there
Yes.
before.
Yes.
I want to know, man. Talk
Wow.
about the food.
Well, I had my dreadlocks then, so I wasn't eating. Well, I still don't. I eat fish only, so I really didn't delve too much in the food as far as coming outside of what I was accustomed to. The vegetables
So
and
you-
fish.
you
I didn't
went
really
safe.
indulge. Yeah, I went safe. But let me tell you about that journey. You want to talk
Please.
about food? I want to talk about that journey.
Talk about it.
Listen, I went to Africa.
Yes.
And I was struggling. Like, life wasn't good. Life was tough for me in every way. But Africa was on my mind.
I like it.
And I manifested that. It was so amazing. Like, I got an opportunity to travel, all expense paid. You're being paid. You get to do what you love. That was a blessing. Like,
Yes.
wow. So I got my mom to take care of my children. While I'm here, let me thank Miss Julie Martin because she recommended me to Lexi Brooks. And I was ready, at that time, I had a testament and I was into the psalm. So every minute I'm chanting a psalm and I'm just giving thanks and being grateful. And I've never been. So it's like you got to be ready. You traveling, you have to jump from plane to plane, so it was like I had to be on my A game for travel. I was traveling by myself. It's a long journey. So I was ready and I was running. Like I had to be running a lot to catch flights, to catch bus. It was quite a journey. And when I got there, it was heaven to me because I was around creatives. It was a 702 production team. Everybody, was doing their thing. I had girls who many did not know English. So I had the task of training them and them not knowing what I'm saying.
So you
Okay.
have to communicate.
Yes, so the communication was energy and through their eyes. They had to look at me, and then I'm a very, intimate with people, so I was able to guide them with touch and just being close to them, and it was amazing. I mean, I was working way into the morning with these girls, trying to get them to model, know how to model, know how to present themselves, know how to speak, introduction. It was amazing.
I miss home. I still call it
I want to
home.
go back.
You want to go back?
I went twice, so I got an opportunity after that because they were like, Winnie, we love how you work. Because I was all over training these girls. I was so into it. I was like, I have to let these people know that I know what I'm doing. They spent a lot of money to bring me here. Who am I? This is what I'm thinking. But I'm here. So I gave it my all, and the girls did well. The crowd loved everything. I danced on the side with my feet. It was an amazing experience. Africa is blessed. Like, I
Yep.
then got to go to Ghana. So the next time I was in Ghana, I trained a couple days in Ghana, and then we went back for hardcourt. So then I got a little energy from Ghana.
I have one question. There's only one question since you brought up the Ghana situation. Which jollof is better? Ghana jollof or Nigerian jollof?
Listen.
Wait. To answer the question first.
Food was not a thing for me there. So I have to go back so that I can enjoy the food. I was not really my focus. I barely ate too. I wasn't a big eater. I still am not. So the food wasn't my focus. I was focused on what I had to do. Train these girls and make them amazing for the stage. I had lots of fruits. I know that's not what you want to hear, but
even though you're pure niceness, but this niceness is starting to have some lime.
I'm going back.
You're going back.
I'm calling it in.
Okay.
I will be back, and I will be eating the food and trying things and exploring more. That's
telling
the
you.
intention.
Like, did you taste? Because it was there I tasted. Actually, I think it was in that side of the country.
Okay.
I tasted cocoa, the fruits. I was talking to my friend this week. Like the actual
It was
cocoa
so
fruit.
good.
Yes.
I didn't.
Oh my gosh. I want to go on one on my bucket list is to
Yes.
travel the world to go taste fruit from
Food.
every country. Because I'm a fruity.
I like that.
Oh, I said I'm a fruity. Fruitie.
Okay.
That's the fruity that I
Yes.
am. Like a foodie.
Overstand.
So your
Yes.
brand, so you've done the modeling thing, and then you now you have pure niceness, man.
Yeah.
Did the model was there a connection between?
None.
It was just a straight up pivot. You're a dancer.
Yeah. I'm a dancer.
Just
but
pivots.
life, like I was evolving as a woman, being more in tune with self, more in tune with nature. Sankofa, so now I was looking back to my stories of my people, learning about where I came from, not what was taught in school, but I went further back. And so those things are empowering. And so I started to evolve and change. So my likes and my dislikes, my desires were changing. And so with that and with my new connection of knowing self, loving nature, because I'm nature, so everything around me, is how pure niceness really, started to manifest.
So pure niceness came from you evolving. Now, in the creation process is a lot of evolution. So the name, was it always pure niceness, or was there something that happened before that?
When I was ready for a name, the name came to me.
So it was just like name at first sight.
Yeah. First, yes, feeling too. Like,
Wow.
being nice was always a thing for me. If anybody's from small, I'm nice. I'm a nice girl. I hear that word so much over the years. You're
Okay.
nice, you're nice. And then the word pure, you think of nature and you think of spirit and who we are. I find out, pure is so beautiful.
Let me tell you something. The last guest I had in this studio for episode 92, which was last August, you and her need to connect because she has this thing. Her name is Sia Alexander. She's married to a Nigerian, and she has an art gallery in, I think, in Virginia. It's called Pure Lagos, and she has lots of African art, and and her husband is an artist, and I will send you the conversation, and then you guys, because you both have synergies that are resonant. Now, I talk a lot about resonance. I'm a physicist.
Okay.
And, well, I'm not a physicist. I have a physics degree.
Okay.
That doesn't make me a physicist. But one thing that always fascinated me was this thing about resonance, resonant frequency. So, you're familiar with things that vibrate. Vibrations are things that oscillate up and down, and that they have their own natural frequency. And the reason why people, you can walk into a room and you can just know before someone utters a word, I'm going to vibe with this person. They're emanating a frequency. And once you're resonant with that, they're in sync. Or it could be destructive, constructive, destructive. And so I think that we progress in our lives the more people that we are around that resonate at that frequency that we emanate and we give off. And when we are around the destructive frequencies is when we don't progress.
Yes.
And so I literally just said, I feel you, I felt her, and I think you guys need to connect. So I'm going to make that connection.
Sounds good.
So so now you all your stuff that you, what are the different things that you do? I know the one thing I got from you was soap and the
Oils?
the spritz,
Yeah.
lemongrass
The
spritz thing.
oils.
Yes. How many different lines of things do you do
Products. Okay, so in my soap line, I have about 7 in my collection. And what I do is every so often I would create something different. I call it a special blend where I'll just whip up something different that is not in my collection, but it's just to give my clients, something new. So sometimes I would whip up a mango soap or I don't remember right now, but I would just whip things up. That would be extra, and then they would just all be excited to get that new thing. But I have 6 that is in my line that is usually always available, which is a blend of turmeric and oranges. I have lemongrass and hemp, basil and charcoal, raw cocoa, which is chocolate. So I use dark chocolate and peppermint, So I work with those things. And then I have 2 oil blends. So I have a moringa peppermint oil and a coconut lemongrass oil. And those are my 2 main oils, and they're both multifunctional. Like, they both have so many benefits, not from me saying, but from clients' reviews. So for me, even when I started, people always want to know, well, what this can help me with, what that can help me with. Now there's things that each ingredient is good for, but when they come together, it's like a whole different kind of energy, and what will work for you may not work for me. So I was really focused on getting them to let me know in the beginning, hey, what is this doing for you? I had an idea, and so I would recommend, but in the end, the reviews is really where the power for me is knowing what did it do for you. And so I have tons of reviews that then allowed me to now create a benefits, list of, okay, it can do this, it can do that. Not because I read it, but because it happened to my clients.
Do you have before and after?
I have lots.
Do you have a place where people can go and see the before and after?
Yeah, my Facebook page. Even when I got burnt up. I got burnt up.
Yes! And no one can tell
Burn
that
up.
you did.
Burn up. The
Yeah.
whole side of my face.
I remember.
Yeah, and it was tough. And the thing was, I had girls illuminated, and so I was buying masks. I was like, I can't let the girls see me like this, but I have to make it happen. When I got the mask, I I can't breathe. So I was like, no, I can't wear this. So I'm like, you have to heal, Winnie. I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't go to the hospital. I took care of myself. I'm famous for that. I do it with my children also. So I took care of myself, and I used pure niceness only. The only other thing I added was cactus. And this was gifted to me by a lady. And it was to keep it cool without making it cold, because heat also helps with healing. So I didn't want to use ice. You understand? Because then that's too cold. I want to heal, but that comes with heat. So it was just a way to give me some ease of the heat that I was going through. But pure niceness did the healing for me.
I remember that journey. I was amazed, and you've healed completely.
Yeah, it's a lot of pain too. But I was determined to heal, and I healed before the program. So I had, I think, less than a month, I healed my face. Pure Niceness did that. So Pure Niceness is known for, people with really bad acne, hyperpigmentation, people with different funguses, people who want glowing skin, even with their hair. So it helps to stimulate hair growth. It stops, hair from falling out, and so many things, I remember there was this one lady who, her son had like a bacteria that was eating out his skin, and she ended up using Pure Niceness, and his skin is looking like mine. I couldn't share it because it was, that would be too harsh. It was a lot for them, going through that time. But I saw it and I was amazed. She's like, thank you. People are so grateful. And that's why I created Pure Niceness. I'm always someone who loves people from a long time. I just love people, and I love nature. So it was a way for me to combine the two. I get to work with nature that I love, and I get to help people with the nature that I'm working with. And then it's also a way for me to transfer my energy into my products to my clients. So right now that I'm doing Girls Illuminated, I'm too tired to craft, and I let my clients know, there'll be a shift, but I'm shifting it to help these girls, and then I'll be right back to you,
So what's your distribution system like? Are you looking to take it like bigger, like globally, or this is still here? Because I mean, clearly you have your success stories, and there are people beyond the shores of St. Kitts who would benefit from stuff that you do, right?
Yeah. So for now, I mean, I am always open. I'm not chasing anything. Right now I'm just kind of flowing. This is how I'm moving now. I'm just flowing. I'm done with the chasing of things. So locally, they're in a few hotels. We have a few boutiques locally that carry them as well. I've had interest overseas. I still do. I've had someone in Dubai who's wanted to purchase. I've had someone in Trinidad. But the issue is export. So it's extremely expensive, and so I don't get into that because I can't afford it, and it wouldn't make sense for my clients, and they wouldn't want to pay the kind of money that is expected. And our post office, which would be the least expensive, does not ship liquids, and so we can bring in things, but we can't ship out things. So there's a lot of, roadblocks when it comes to export for small business like myself. And I say small business very, very proudly. It's not like I'm small and I'm not good, because small is great also, So I just say small in the fact that, what the outputs and the inputs. So I'm not doing massive amounts. I'm not a factory, I'm a human being. So my production is to make sure that I'm producing quality and versus quantity. Yeah.
Okay. I want to know more about the oils. Which ones do you have now? You have
Like in stock?
Yeah.
Both. I was able to craft a few, and so I have both in stock. Yes.
both. I don't know their names.
Coconut lemongrass is
Coconut
the
lemongrass,
first
okay.
one I ever created. It's my most popular of the two. And then my second creation was moringa peppermint, right? So the coconut lemongrass is really just an aroma of beautiful lemongrass, and that is uplifting. So a lot of people like to, wear it in the morning. I do too, just to give me that, upful feeling. And then the moringa peppermint is more of a relaxing aroma. So they're also aromatic, so it's not just for the skin healing, but also the senses and make how you feel.
What about diffusers?
No, I don't do that. So that would be like essential oils. So that is a whole other thing, which I would love to get into, but that would take a machine. And based on the cost of things, I'm kind of holding off on that right now.
Because I think that lemongrass scent, like you walk in, look at, okay, I'm speaking from experience, but at Kitchen Hill, when we first opened, everything was lemongrass. You go into the rooms, the even the little hot towels they give you when you come, everything was just,
lemongrass.
it was its signature. And I just love that scent.
Yes.
And you're filling the room right now with it, and it brings back some good memories. But yeah, man, I love your stuff.
Thank you.
And I'm going to.
You have to get some oils.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm going to find you.
Awesome. Too easy.
I'm going to find you. So let's go into the family woman. You're a mom, and you are a value giver as a mom. That's what moms do. And I want to know how you've done it with three. It's three you have,
Yes,
right?
I have 3.
Like, what values were you most intentional about giving them, and the ones that you know resonated the most with them?
Well, for me, it's always about, those, how should I put it? For me, the most powerful one is to be loving in all that you do. being kind, having manners. I'm someone who loves people, who have manners. You walk into a space, you greet them, you say thank you, you just show a lot of gratitude. That is energy right there. So I I do what I want my children to emanate. Like I live that. So it was easy. For me, I feel like it was easy in the sense that I wasn't trying to teach them anything that I'm not practicing. So it was just really they're seeing me and they're hearing me. So they got both of it. Now, if they choose to do different, at this time, they're still living with me. So I can be like, hey. But I would hope that once they leave me, one has left already. But once they leave me, that they continue to uphold those values of, just really being loving and being kind and being empathetic and just all those good qualities that we should all be emanating. And that for me was most important. I'm a simple woman. For those who may not think, I'm very, very simple. Simple things make me happy. My children are aware of that. And we live simple, you know. We have goals and what's not, but we're good with simplicity as well, which is important because times shift. Sometimes things are great, sometimes they're not. And when you have that value of being able to just live with simple things, and value simple things, then you'll be good regardless. Yeah.
Okay. You are the example that they are now following. And, how did you, because when my daughter came, that changed everything. Did that happen with you?
Yes, it changed a lot, but I was able to find some balance, even though there were times where I felt life felt chaotic. There were times where I felt lost. There were times where I had nothing. I kept faith, and I kept that love and passion inside of me to just continue pushing no matter what I was going through, because now I had to, at first it was Destiny, then it was Jarwin and Destiny, and then it was Jarwin, Destiny, and Zion, so we just kept growing and things just kept shifting, and I had to go with the flow of things and still stay positive and still stay loving as I could. And I know I'm not the perfect mother. Who is, right? But I try to do my best in setting good examples for my children, and still trying to live my life as well. I think it's important for us to find balance. A lot of times we get lost in either or, we're not giving them enough attention, or two, we're just focused so much on them that we're forgetting ourselves. So it's very important as mothers to find balance in both, our lives and that of our children, because then we will be even better for them when we're able to find that balance where we're also looking for ourselves and loving ourselves and being gentle with ourselves. And the same kind of energy we give to our children, we should be giving to ourselves. And so I would have had times where I was lost in that and I couldn't find that balance. And those were the hardest times for me. Because I was always about pouring into them and making sure they were good. But then I forgot about myself.
Yeah, I kind of, I'm kind of going through that right now.
I feel you.
I'm kind of going through that right now. And she reminds me, she's like, Dad, you need to take care of yourself. If you don't, and she says, Daddy, if you die, like, who's going to take care of me? She literally says that.
Yeah, I love it. She's giving it to you straight.
Oh, yeah. She's like, yeah.
Yes.
She says, don't worry, I'm not going to disturb you. Just give me, and then I will give you some space.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow.
So, yeah, she's a good one.
Yes.
So you're an energy giver, and we know this. You're a good energy giver, and that's who you've evolved to be. And you E is equal to mc squared. That's Einstein's famous equation for light.
Okay.
Yeah, mc, which is mass, times c, which is the speed of light, squared.
Okay.
We are energy.
Yes, and we are light beings.
We are light, exactly.
Yes.
And literally speaking, that is everything that is light operates on the electromagnetic spectrum. What we see is just a snapshot of it. That's visible light. But we have radio waves, microwaves, infrared light, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, and all of these things. They're all comprised in this spectrum of what is in the world. And you see, being the good energy giver that you are means that there is a light inside of you. And light can never be ignored once there's darkness. it's never ever going to be ignored once it's present. And with what you're doing with Girls Illuminated, um, reminds me of that. They are, you are, that word illuminated means that you're giving energy that is resonant with this whole concept of light,
Yes.
in such a way that they will be able to shine and not be ignored, and so I want to know, like, what that has been like from the time you decided I want to do Girls Illuminated to what it's become now. Why? How did you start that?
Girls Illuminated,
Yeah.
how that came about. Well, I had my modeling agency in the past, and we also used to have a boot camp where we were about empowerment. It was beyond modeling, but the focus was modeling. The focus was to develop models, professional models. So I did that. I loved it to the maximum, gave it my all. Again, pouring into others, forgetting about myself. That was a big time for me doing that too. Not that it's right, but that's what happened. But I wasn't getting the energy that was necessary to keep going. People were not seeing it for its worth. I felt like the industry was a bit toxic and very behind. And so I didn't feel that this was something I needed to keep pursuing because it wasn't going anywhere. It was just a lot of negative coming at us when we were just trying to do good. So, I took the hard decision to give it up. And then a couple years later, Destiny's like, "Mommy, we have to do this again." I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that again." I said, "But give me some time. Let me think of something." And I took the time, and Girls Illuminated came to mind. I said, "I'm going to focus on health and wellness," because that's where I was at that time. So I just needed to tune in now to see how else could I empower girls, because that's what I love to do. I love girls.
So Girls Eliminated, for those of the people who are probably listening who don't know what it is, can we talk a little bit more about, again, what it was initially? Has it evolved since the first cohort?
It's just,
or it's
yeah, well, we're always getting better.
okay.
Yeah, we're always getting better. We're always doing more for the girls, offering more. So it's a health and wellness program. The goal is to really holistically empower our girls between a certain age. So the age that we're working with is 11 to 15. And over the years, we would have tried different ages, and now I am comfortable with 11 to 15 being our focus. We teach them things like yoga, sound healing, they have meditation classes, financial literacy, confidence. We cover topics like standing in your power, empathy. We have self-defense sessions. We have
Wow.
dance sessions.
Self-defense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important. So we've had that. We've worked with Clement Johnson a few years. And of course, every year the curriculum kind of, I change it up a bit, but there's certain aspects of it that must remain. The girls learn so much. It's so much information, that they're just being poured into. I have some amazing Empower Her guides that come. Some come every year, some, come, and I just get new ones, and it's just amazing, the kind of things that our girls are learning at such a young age, and they're feeling good about themselves. A lot of times when the girls come to the program, they're so shy. Like, I already know the vibe. I know what's going to happen and where it's going to end. And it always ends off very like, okay, everybody's shy, nobody wants to talk, till now they're talking so much. And they have all the questions, and, they're comfortable together, and, it's good. It's good vibes. So that's where I'm just trying to make our girls more conscious about themselves, about, how to heal themselves, how to take care of themselves, how to love others, how to love self. But it all really starts with self. And so we have to build up the self first. And that's how we're able to pour into others. So that's what we do at Girls Illuminated. We're helping to build them whilst encouraging them on the things of how they should treat others. So if you're going to give this to yourself, then you'll be able to give it to others. But if you don't, how can you? And so it's just really just making the girls aware of themselves and the world around them. And
So you've tapped into something that I'm very passionate about with my daughter, because I am very particular about how she treats others and her emotional, how do you put it, intelligence.
Yeah.
How to regulate her emotions, how to know. And we were having the conversation this week, and so I'm curious to know if you feel as though what you're imparting on these children is is a void that you feel has been left by the school system that has not done these things. And if we had more intentional learning paradigms that factor this in, we may not have as much problems with our relationships and our families and crime and other-
Facts.
so
Facts.
so are you pounding the pavement to say this needs to be a part of the curriculum in these?
No, I'm not. I'm actually doing the work. So we're doing the work. So I'm not, I actually have not, approached it to say, hey, this should be in schools. We're doing the work the way that we can. And hopefully, as the awareness comes of what we're doing, that these conversations would be had. Today we had Honorable Iseline Phillip.
Yeah.
She came in and she loves what we're doing. So, when people become more aware of what we're doing, then those conversations could be had. It's going to be a lot of work, but the work has to be done. And we've, it's not just me, like it's an entire community that's doing Girls Illuminated. There's so many of us. I'm the core, but around me is just plenty people, and that's what needs. We have to realize that we're not going to evolve as a people if we're, not uplifting each other. It's very important that we uplift each other, and the school system has a lot of work to do, to be honest. I know you know that.
It's a
I'm not happy with
crisis.
it at all. I took my children out of school. I homeschooled my children.
High
And
five.
that's the first time I'm saying that. Yeah, because I went through a lot of trauma with my children in the school system, and
Yeah.
we didn't come here for that. That's how I feel. We did not come here for this, and so I made another way. It may not, it is, I know it's different. People may not like it, but I don't care. These are my children, and I want the best for them emotionally.
Thank
Because
you.
when you get battered emotionally, how can you function well?
Thank you.
So I'm more focused on how they're feeling than subjects.
Thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, Taisha is on the live saying, "You're not trying, you are." So thank you, Tai. Girl, you.
Taisha is amazing. Let me big up my girl. She has been supporting us from the beginning. And listen, it's so amazing. Girls Illuminated is mostly supported by individuals.
So you have a tribe.
Yeah. And this is over the years. So a lot of these people are people I know from a long time. Okay. And then, of course, we have those who are new. But the companies, to be honest, they don't really take me on. I've been pounding trying to get them to support for the years. And now I've stopped. I said, I'm not chasing anymore. This is the year of me not chasing. I'm just going to do the work and do it the best that I can, But we really need more support. There's a lot of us that want to pour in our communities, but we need help. Because as we're pouring, we also need to be poured into. So I need to know, if I'm going to, same thing with Girls Illuminated, I get tired. I'm tired, emotionally. I'm exhausted, but I love what I do. So people will look at me and like, yeah, but they don't know what's happening behind, They don't know all the work and sacrifices that I have to make to help their children. So we're helping other people. So why aren't we coming together to help each other? Because one of these girls that I might be helping may be the wife of one of these gentlemen in these massive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're all connected. We're all connected. So we need more help so we can have more programs, because we need to focus on the boys too.
Oh yeah.
Let's touch on that.
Trust
the boys
me.
need this
Trust
also.
me. The lessons I'm learning,
Yeah.
I'm learning them late. I'm learning some lessons about masculinity. I'm learning some lessons about interpersonal relationships. I'm learning some lessons about women. Not that one is I don't.
Ever learning.
I don't know this. I don't know.
The learning never
Nobody ever
stops.
graduates from that one. So that one, you can't go to school for that one.
No.
But I'm actually now teaching my daughter how to respond to people, how to be. And this week she says, Dad, I said your superpower is kindness. That's your superpower. And she's understanding that somebody could give you an energy and you don't have to match it.
Yes.
and so she's learning, but I'm intentional about that.
Yes.
And so, and then we still need the boys to understand how to regulate their emotions from early, from way early. So you're connecting with the 11 to 15 cohort, but there's still a void,
Plenty voids.
that needs to be met, and so. Yeah, this
Plenty
is a
voids. We have the women, we have the men, the entire society needs things that are going to uplift them. We go through a lot as a people, and we're still carrying a lot of trauma. Okay, we're still carrying a lot of trauma from the things that our ancestors went through. These things are passed on to us. It's evident when you look and feel around the place. I've been living in St. Kitts most of my life, and I've seen how we have changed as a people, and not for the better. In the sense of our people, I feel, are not loving themselves so that they can share that energy with others. So we're just pushing a lot of toxic energy onto each other. I get it a lot too. So I'm not just talking from looking on the outside, I'm in it, So we have we have people who are trying to evolve, trying to heal.
They say it sounds soft, apparently.
Sorry.
Talking to the mic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have people who are working, doing the work, trying to heal, trying to love others, share all those goodness. And then we have those who are kind of stuck and not knowing where to go. And so that toxicity is breaking them down. And so then we now have to go through that, because we're all in the same space. We all live together. So it's a lot of work to be done, but we could do it.
Wow.
It could be done. We just have to make the choice to do that.
I think this means that we need to have another conversation about just this, because this is a very vast topic. When we finish, I'm gonna share with you some of my thoughts about this area, because I put up posts on Facebook, which I'm not a viral engine, so that's not gonna go viral. But I am really particular about people understanding how to treat other people better.
Yes. It's a massive issue.
It's
It's disheartening. Well, we just have to move through it. The light still, because it's who we are. And so for those who have that light, I just encourage you to keep that light and keep sharing that love. The world needs more of us, who just push that love energy. People would think, those who know the things that I've been through, it's like, wow, how are you able to have this energy with all that you've gone through? I had to make a choice.
Thank you.
It was really a choice.
Your emotions can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Not serious.
Well, I'm a very emotional person. I'm a Pisces. So when you say that, it's like I don't get it, because I am an emotional person.
I understand that. but what I'm saying is, your emotions cannot be trusted, because they're responsive. They're instinctive. So if you are generally good, and you have this air of good intentions and good spirit, then for that most part, then you can trust that. But if you haven't built and guarded your peace, then you're gonna have. I have a meeting with my brain and my heart every day. Like, hey, I'm gonna give you permission to feel today, because there's still a disconnect. So I have some growing to do. But listen, we're out of time. We kind of went over time. So we're going to go finish with a rapid fire session. 10 questions. Just ask them first person. Answer them as quickly as possible. And that's it. The show will be done. I know this finished so quick. All right. Number 1, my superpower as a woman is?
Love.
Love. Awesome. Number 2, comfort food for me is?
Chocolate.
Okay, one reason why my friends are lucky to have me as a friend.
Because I'm loving.
Oh, love, I love this. I really dig this old school hip hop tune.
Whoa. The name of it.
Sing it.
I try. Okay, wait.
Sing it.
Return of the Mac.
You lied to me when I said that you would turn on me. You lied to me. What I do. All right. All right, number 5. If a movie could be made about me, this would be the title, and this is who I want to play me in it.
Wow.
I know, that's a big one.
This is hard.
I know.
Janine.
Okay.
And and what would the title be? I'm telling you. Title. Wow. A life of love.
A life of. Let's do it. Let's do
Let's
it.
make it happen.
All right.
Shannon.
All right. Next one. A musical instrument that I wish I was really good at.
Drums.
All right. Next one. An all expenses paid trip to this country would have me jumping for joy.
Bali.
Woo. Good one. Very good. Number 8. I found a time machine and went back 20 years to see 20-year-old Winnie. And I said this to her.
Love yourself, Winnie.
Okay. Number 9. If I could know the absolute truth to anything, it would be this.
I don't think I follow the absolute truth. to
Meaning,
anything. Okay.
did OJ do it?
Ugh.
or anything. Like, you just want to know, listen, there's so much doubt around this, but this machine is going to give me the answer. I know it's 100%
to something that I
true.
need to know is
Yes.
truth. Wow. I can't really think. Pass.
All right, number 10. Best part about being on the show is...
You.
And
your
you!
energy.
By the way, I'm waiting for you to put Winnell's hugs in a bottle because... And just market them. Just open the bottle and it just gives you a hug.
Oh, it'll be free.
It'll be free. No, it's not going to be free because them some high value hugs, man. High energy. So you just literally could just bottle it and say, I've hugged this bottle. Just buy it and let people go and say, you got Winnell's hugs in your home when you're feeling low. People, that's the show, man. I was nervous and she took the nerves out of me. She brought the energy. And now I'm ready to have the next show next week. I have no idea who my guest is going to be, but you guys know I'm going to bring it. My guest is going to bring it, and the night's ending on a high. And I can't thank you enough for coming and bringing your awesomeness. We have people on the live. Davinia Tomlinson saying this is a great conversation. Thank everybody. I think who else was listening on? Tasha Hendrickson was listening. Caroline Hodge was listening. I don't know who else was listening. Taisha, I don't see anybody else, but I don't know who else. But if you guys were listening, you didn't comment, I don't know, so I can't give it a shout out. But thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have more next week. Bye.
Good news only.
Do you know that the cable has a real live customer service representative available every day until 9 p.m.? Just call 465-2588. Calling out of normal office hours? Leave a voicemail and a friendly, reliable cable rep will call you back. Do you have an urgent request? Or maybe you just want to ask a service question? Call 465-2588 and a service representative will be available to assist you. Or if you prefer